This is absolutely hilarious. Am I the only person that like thinks this is hilarious? I'm trying to. Is this the only time we've ever seen a situation like this happen, where a player has been suspended, not for a game, for a half? She's suspended for a half. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. She is suspended for a half a basketball game.
The Chicago Sky locker room has officially hit its boiling point, and Angel Reese just went too far. What began as mounting frustration over a disastrous season has spiraled into a full-blown meltdown, one so severe that even her own teammates are no longer willing to stand by her. Now, the franchise is left with no choice but to take drastic measures against the player once seen as their rising star.
According to the report, Reese said she doesn't believe her teammates Rachel Banham or Haley Van Lith are capable of leading a playoff team. Guard Ariel Atkins is another player on the Sky's roster with WNBA championship experience. Tyler Marsh said, "We are aware of it." What Angel Reese said, "We're addressing it in-house as currently speaking. That's where we'll stay right now."
The same woman who once declared herself on par with Caitlin Clark has now turned into a cautionary tale. Proof of what happens when ego shatters team chemistry and bold public claims end up wrecking private relationships.
Did tell Front Office Sports the entire team has seen Reese's comments and they're basically unhappy with the direct attacks. They are even planning a team meeting to talk about it. We'll read you some of the excerpts, which does kind of not make her team look good. One of which say, "We can't rely on Courtney," that's Courtney Vandersloot, "to come back at the age that she's at. I know she'll be a great asset for us, but we can't rely on that. We need someone probably a little younger with some experience, somebody who's been playing the game and is willing to compete for a championship and has done it before."
Angel Reese's latest controversy goes far beyond basketball. This isn't just about missed shots or poor efficiency. It's about character, leadership, and the fundamental respect teammates owe each other. In what can only be described as a stunning act of self-sabotage, Reese went public with criticisms so severe that the organization had no choice but to suspend her for comments deemed damaging to the team. But that suspension was only the spark. What followed was a full-scale organizational revolt, leaving Reese's future in Chicago hanging by the slimmest of threads.
Also, you guys remember the story. Angel Reese calling out her teammates, calling out the front office. You're a bum, you're a bum, you're a bum. You're a bum. Yeah, you ladies won't do it for me. Coach Marsh, can you please coach harder? Yeah, Angel Reese. 48 hours later, already backtracking on those statements, already moonwalking like Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, he'd probably be proud how quickly Angel Reese is moonwalking from the comments she made, and I have an exclusive.
The breaking point came when Reese told the Chicago Tribune that Chicago needs great players and that she refused to settle for the same we did this year. To outsiders, those words might sound like competitive fire, but to her teammates, they landed as the ultimate betrayal, a public declaration that none of them were good enough to share the court with her.
Some of the other stuff that she said was also pretty bad. Like, I'm not settling for the same we did this year. We have to get good players. We have to get great players. That's a non-negotiable for me. I am willing and wanting to play with the best. And however I can help to get the best here, that's what I'm going to do this offseason. So it's going to be very, very important this offseason to make sure that we attract the best of the best, because we can't settle for what we have this year. So her saying we can't settle for what we have this year, that is basically like a slap in the face to Becca Allen. That is a slap in the face to Rachel Banham. That is a slap in the face to Ariel Atkins.
Rachel Banham, the veteran guard who has poured everything into this franchise, was blindsided by Reese's remarks. And Ariel Atkins, the teammate who had stood by Reese through every controversy, finally reached her breaking point.
Chicago Sky values safety, respect, and well-being of every player. We're committed to accountability so our players can stay focused on playing basketball. Because of statements made by Angel Reese during league-mandated media, I've never seen this before, but she is getting suspended for a half. Not a game. Not a game. One half. One half she is getting suspended for. That is absolutely hilarious.
If you're enjoying this, make sure to subscribe. Reese's great players comment wasn't just a casual remark about roster construction. It was a pointed attack on the very teammates who had battled alongside her through one of the franchise's toughest seasons. She openly questioned whether Rachel Banham or Hailey Van Lith had what it takes to lead a playoff team. She dismissed 36-year-old Courtney Vandersloot, saying the Sky couldn't rely on someone at the age that she's at and needed someone probably a little younger with some experience. These weren't strategic conversations held in private locker room meetings. They were public takedowns, execution-style critiques disguised as basketball analysis.
Be here for the rest of my career, but if things don't pan out, obviously I might have to move in a different direction and do what's best for me. And listen, I totally get that, because if you are somebody with a lot of star power, you don't want your career just like rotting away in a place, especially the Sky. The GM, Jeff Pagliocca, he absolutely sold the Sky's future. He traded away draft picks for this like win now mentality. And who he drafted? Now, I don't want to speak bad about Hailey Van Lith, but she has not had a mentor to actually mentor her to be any proper type of point guard. So she's kind of been flying in the dark. She hasn't exactly proven her worth. And
the most damning part of Reese's remarks wasn't just what she said, it was the way she said it. While Caitlin Clark spent her rookie season enduring physical play, hostile crowds, and relentless scrutiny, yet still managed to elevate her teammates and lift her entire organization to new heights, Reese took the opposite path. Instead of rallying those around her, she tore down the very people who had stood by her through thick and thin. The contrast couldn't be clearer. Clark turned adversity into fuel that made everyone around her better, while Reese threw her teammates under the bus at the first real sign of struggle.
This is the reason I have spent the last few years referring to the WNBA as a dump. This is the reason I don't feel bad when I refer to the WNBA as a toxic turd. Not only have they damn near ruined their opportunity with Caitlin Clark, the dump diver they chose to support, the pretend basketball player they have spent the last 2 years begging you to support. They desperately want her to be accepted. They are desperate to make her a star. Not only has she been rejected by normal people, Angel Reese is now being rejected and potentially kicked off of her own team.
The response from Reese's teammates was immediate and devastating. Multiple league sources confirmed that the entire Sky roster had read her comments and were furious with the direct attacks. A players-only meeting was quickly called, not to rally around their so-called star, but to deal with the wreckage she had caused to Team Morale. In that meeting, Ariel Atkins, one of Reese's most loyal defenders throughout her career, confronted her directly, making it clear that her behavior had crossed a line. Rachel Banham's reaction showed just how deep the wound ran. Speaking to the Chicago Sun-Times, she admitted, "I think I just don't really care. I'm so over all of this. If I was younger, it would have affected me more, but I'm grown and I just don't care." That resignation wasn't just about basketball, it was about betrayal. A teammate she had supported and battled alongside had publicly declared her unworthy. Banham admitted she felt blindsided by the interview, underscoring just how much Reese's comments felt like an ambush from within her own locker room.